That's a really hard question to answer. I don't really have any desire to make stories for adults, just because I think what tends to be the focus when you make a story for a child, or at least in my view, the stories that interested me as a child and still interest me now, are ones that revolve around imagination and fantastical things, but then also that revolve around some kind of moral kind of question. I don't particularly want to write stories about anti-heroes or sort of morally dubious characters. They don't really sort of move or motivate me. Perhaps it's hopelessly naive, but I like to have characters who are sort of good, and I like to have characters who maybe are not as good. So perhaps it's the simplicity of writing for children. It's the kind of moral simplicity that you're trying to present to a child reader and say, well, this is sort of ideal. I think maybe that has a certain appeal to it, but really it's more about kind of the monsters and the creatures and the dragons and the level of detail that usually goes into illustrations for children. Also, grown-ups, they're not really, well, I shouldn't say they're not interested in comic strips. That's not true. But a lot of grown-ups who read stories in comic strip format, they tend to be superheroes, and I don't really have any interest in making anything like that. So there's this kind of sweet spot that exists, I think, in children's literature, where the subject matter and the format kind of come together, and that's what it is that I really, really like to make, is that sort of linear progression of images, and about things which are more simple and kind of more gentle, I guess, than maybe they would be if I was making stories for an older audience.